Hi and welcome to a little update after Maker Central. It's just over a week actually after the show finished, and I've been basically on holiday but doing a bit of resting up really. But I wanted to come on, do a little update and just talk about the event of Maker Central. I've got quite a long list of thank yous because it's been another amazing year. Now there's lots and lots of videos out there. I didn't do one. I was quite busy while I was there, and to be honest, with the schedule that I'd had before the show and completing the table and making sure it was there and in Birmingham on time, I found absolutely exhausting, to be quite honest. And so I've been taking a little bit of time off. Also to finish the kitchen that I'd started, and then because I'd given myself a time slot to complete the kitchen, I didn't quite have it finished, and mostly had it done. So I've actually been doing bits in that as well. So yeah, no video this week. The last video that obviously went up was the river table. Now there's a little story behind that. It was edited. The final part needed to be up for me going to the show. So I spent most of that night getting up every couple of hours to check that the video was actually rendering. You have to render a video before you can upload it. And everything went wrong that could have gone wrong. And when I was in the morning getting ready to go and catch the flight, I was still completing that video. So the only way I could do it was those last two should have been all in one video, but for some reason it just wouldn't happen, so I just uploaded two separates. That video is going to be coming down. It should have actually come down before now. Will be re-edited and uploaded. I'm going to give it a few more days because I wanted to tell you about it. I'm going to prepare the other video ready for going up, because I want to answer your comments. There's a lot of people that commented on that video, and to be honest, it's a shame to lose a lot of those comments. So I'm going to leave it there to now, just maybe for another few days before I take it down and put a shorter version and a complete version of that second video. It's not, the other one's not one I want to be sitting there really, because I think it's a bit messy. So yeah, no project video this week. There won't be, I basically took the week off to finish some of the house projects that I've done, and also to think about projects that I'm wanting to do. I sort of really had a certain amount of projects in my mind till now, and then although I have a list as long as my armour projects, I've not really thought of what's beyond this. So I really wanted to take a little bit of time out and think of what I'm going to be doing. I mean, I do have projects. I've put a list here because there's such a lot to say. Obviously the kitchen splashback is coming. Once I finish those bits and pieces in the kitchen, I'm going to be starting doing some testers, and then we will get that project done. I've also got I'm wanting to make some cutting boards for in there, but they're not really cutting boards for chopping on. One block will be, but the others will be more decorative to add a little bit of colour to the blandness of the kitchen, which you'll see when that video starts. It's just white walled, all white units and brown top, brown flooring. So there's no actual colour in there because I wanted to use a splashback to add the colour, and then chopping boards on top of the wood to sort of blend in. So these more decorative boards for, I don't know, placing bits on. I'm not quite sure what they're for yet, but there will be a couple of them in there. So there's stuff like that coming up. I have a few projects to finish which I'd started, and the chessboard. The chessboard has been totally neglected, but that is I'm going to carry on with that now. I need to figure out exactly where I am and get the rest of the pieces stabilised, and we'll start moving on with that. So that's definitely happening. This other couple of projects, which I don't want to tell you about until they're done, they will be happening. Also, yeah, there's going to be more sort of like box projects, because I want a whole sort of series of these but I just love making those little boxes on the lathe. So yeah, I've got just a lot of colour changes and stuff like that, so you're going to see these coming up. I'm not going to film them all because a lot of them will just be a different colour but the same type of box. Pen blanks, there'll always be pen blank videos coming up, so those will be in there, and pen turning. So yeah, you got that type of thing. There's also some resin art, still some more resin art stuff that I want to do, so you'll see those slotted in and about. And it is the summer, supposedly, you wouldn't believe it for the weather. So I'm wanting to think of some other woodworking projects. Now I've got some big projects that still need doing for the house, those will come, but I'm wanting to think of a few fun things, so you will see that coming along the way. But yeah, you might not see as many regular videos, but there'll definitely still be a couple in a month. Instead of the 4 in a month, there'll definitely be a couple coming in a month. And I'm going to work on editing and other stuff in the background to see if I can improve the quality of the video and what you're seeing and stuff like that. If you've got any ideas on what you would like to see on the channel, let me know, because I'm 2.5 years in now, and you know, until lately there was a video out every week, and I beat myself up quite a bit when there wasn't a video going out every week, but realised actually that wasn't important. The important thing is that I'm still here doing what I'm doing, and there's no doubt that's going to continue. But working videos and projects and running a small business which is doing really well for the pen blanks, and I know a lot of you out there do support me for that, and you know, I'm forever thankful for that. I'm always trying to improve what I'm doing, the colours, the way they look, to give you, the wood turners out there or knife makers, better quality stuff. The best I can possibly do is what I'm always aiming for, to give in that. So you know, shuffling them all, sometimes has got to give, and I think it would be best if I improved the quality and what I'm doing in the videos. So that's sort of the plan. You never know, I might start doing the odd update every now and again just to let you know what's happening, what's coming up, or you know, follow on from projects that I've already done, because the projects are a bit big, some of them. But now that's enough about me waffling, because you know I waffle too much. I've got some massive thank yous, because this year's show, it was a lot bigger than last year's show, and you're probably all out there sick of hearing about it, but it was a lot bigger, the show this year. The stands were almost a lot more prepared. The maker community had its own thing going on as well. It was just, I never seen around the whole show. I did see a lot of it, but I didn't see around the whole show. But I was there really to meet the people. So other makers, there was other people that I wanted to meet, you know, that I'm inspired by. So, you know, obviously I wanted to meet those. People that watch me, you know, I try to meet as many and stop and give people the time, because that's the thing. I wanted to give people the time if they had any questions. And a lot of people did come up to the House of Resin stand and to the Q&A that I did on the second stage, and did ask those questions, and that was good, because that sort of opened it up to some of the questions that we maybe not answer on our channels all the time. So the first big thank you is to the House of Resin. Obviously, I mean, I buy all my products from House of Resin. Yes, I do buy them. I don't get given products from House of Resin. I buy them all. But they have been a massive support to me. They shipped my table down there, and you know, allowed people to see it. I wouldn't have been able to afford to ship that table down there, because it wasn't the cheapest thing to ship down there. It's actually still down in the House of Resin just now, ready for when I do the resin workshop, which is 6th and 7th of July. That's all up and out there now, and if you want to know, contact the House of Resin if you're wanting to book onto that. There is only limited spaces. I'm not sure where they are on that, because I don't really have anything much to do with it. They've built the flyer up for me for the show, so that was there. So I know there was quite a few people asking about it, so I don't know where they are on that, but get in contact with House of Resin if you do want to get on that. It's going to be a great day, because you're going to be able to cast something. It's probably going to be like a pen blank. It's just to sort of really get the feel of casting. And then I'm going to be talking about all the resins that I use, all the projects that I do, from rings to the resin art, to the pen blanks, to styles, to colours, to temperatures, to the equipment. It's basically going to be a whole roundup of what I do. So if you are interested in that, get in touch with House of Resin. So yeah, so a major thank you to them. They are just such a lovely group to work with, because I go up there and they always greet me with a smile. I don't know, they're just such a nice bunch. Stuart, obviously I know very well, because it's Stuart that I mainly have contact with, but the whole team is absolutely brilliant, and their stand looked amazing this year. It really did. And I mean, they had Zac Higgins on there, John Clothier on there, Brian Blom, I always say his name wrong, Mark Lewin. You know, these are people that I really respect in the area of casting, and to have them on there with myself was brilliant. The only thing was missing is I would have loved to have cast with the two of them, just had like a big cast off. That would have been my ultimate dream, to actually cast with them. But you know, you never know what the future will bring, and maybe me coming to America or them coming back over here, that may well happen in the future. I can always hope. So yeah, so their stand was amazing. There was also other people on there, not necessarily ones that I particularly follow, but very, very well known in the community. So well done, House of Resin. You did an absolutely cracking job this year of representing all of us makers as well as your company. The other big thank you is to Taylor's Murfield. Dan was absolutely brilliant. He took my blanks on there. He made them look absolutely beautiful, wrapped them in bags with my sticker, and you put a lot of work in there to put my blanks on there, and even allowing me to have them on there. And what a great bloke, and his dad and the rest that work with him. He's, you know, they're a great company too, good British company, which is always nice to support. And of course I use their pen kits, which you all know. So a big thank you to Dan. The other big thank you is because really I go to the show and I do, you know, I work with House of Resin, and you know, tell people what I do with their products, and you know, but the one thing that I go for is actually the whole maker community. Doesn't matter big or small, those that work in a workshop and never film anything, to those big people that are out there filming a video every week and actually teach the rest of us how to do it. That community is absolutely amazing. Every single one of you, it doesn't matter who you are, everybody I met was just an absolute joy to be around. It's the tightest community I have ever known. You feel welcome. I mean, most of us makers, we're used to talking to this little black box and sitting in our own little area and not actually communicating with the world. I mean, we do through social media, but when you go to an event like that, honestly, you feel like, I mean, you feel like you know me, I feel like I know them, but when you go there, it just feels like talking to friends, long lost family almost. It's an amazing community, and we are so lucky as makers, or you know, people who watch makers, you know, to have that. It is really good, and to be honest, it's thanks to Nick, a lot of it. Nick Zametti, setting up this show for the second year on the trot, has brought the community so much closer. Yeah, a lot of good friends met and re-met, and newly ones made. Also, another thank you, Jim Overton, who invited me onto the panel for the Q&A for resin casting with Zac and Jake Thompson. Yeah, a big thank you to Jim, because I feel very, very little compared to some of these other people out there, but he always makes me feel very, very involved in the resin casting world. So yeah, thank you, because I really did enjoy that, and I learned a lot myself. So I got a couple of gifts while I was there at the end of the show, and this one was from Zac Higgins. Now, you may well have watched his video. I'm going to link the video into this. I watched a video, and these are dyed and stabilised rocks that he's put in this, and I think it's like a vibrant pink. I think he's maybe used in it with pearl white. I think I'm going to do a couple of smaller little projects with this particular blank, because I don't want to waste it all. So there's definitely going to be a box involved in this. That is going to be videoed, and that will be coming very, very soon. So what a gift to get the famous Zac Higgins casting. And then Brian Blum. I was really looking forward to meeting Brian, because he's the man behind Caster's Choice. I love Caster's Choice, and it is the only thing that I use now, just purely because the colours are just so good, and they mix incredibly well. You know, you can actually make colours out of these other colours. A bit of messing about, so which I do on odd occasion for custom orders. So I asked him if he would, because he was casting all weekend on the House of Resin stand, so he was doing live castings there, and I did nip in and on a couple of occasions and just watch him, and I asked him if he would cast me a blank so that I could well, I was going to buy this blank, you know. I wanted him to cast me one with just some colours that he wanted to go with, anything. And he did, and he actually did sign the back of it. I will put a photograph up there now. I was delighted he signed the back of it, you know, because I've learnt a lot. And these people out there in the community, they're so generous with their information. I certainly could not have been doing anything that I'm doing now without that. And that is why I continue to share what I do, because if they're willing to share what they do, then, you know, I must need to get the information out there and share what I do, because that is what it's all about, you know. I want you at home to be able to go and do this stuff. So he cast me this blank, and just beautiful. I mean, this is a blank for me. Sorry, it won't be going up for sale. It is just for me, for my little project. So yeah, thank you very much. And also I got his sticker. Now, the one thing I did forget was to get Zac's. How did I manage to forget to get his sticker? But anyway, I did get one for the Caster's Choice powders. Also, James Garwood. Yeah, Garwood. I met him the first year round, and he has a really successful. He must be coming up to 50,000 subscribers now. He's had an amazing year in the community. Kindly came up and gave me, I think he said there's over £300 in there, in £5 notes, which is shredded. And there was a blank he also gave me there. So thank you very much, James. I definitely will be having a play around with that. Dave the Wood Barber, little gift from Dave. Thank you very much, Dave, much appreciated being included on that, because I know you had a load of these to make before you went. Also, Maggie Billett, she made me a pen from HDPE. Thank you very much, Maggie. Very kind of you to stop me and give me that. Really very much appreciated, and thank you. The other thing that I got is I stopped at Woodworking UK. I have been part of Woodworking UK, although I don't post on there very much. I've been part of Woodworking UK since there was about 30 members on there, and now they are massive. And last year I made a point of going and meeting everybody there, and I went back this year, and they kindly donated me quite a lot of stuff. There's different glues and stuff like that. I should be making a little project with these, so thank you very much, Woodworking UK, the Facebook page. Also, Cat Hippie Noodle, she made me this. The time that it must have taken her to make these, because I know she made a lot of them, and it is just beautiful. The Scottish Thistle doesn't get any better than that. This is actually going to be hanging in my car. I haven't put it in there yet. As a little memento from there. So thank you very much, Kat, really appreciated, and thank you for adding me to your list. Richard Morley, Brain Fizz. Richard I actually followed years before I ever went on YouTube, and he was the man my go-to channel for teaching me about the router and router bits. And for the last 2 years, and obviously, you know, he came up to Scotland and they came in and did some casting and stuff. He gave me a piece of Ickworth 2012, this is wood. It's ash. he gave it to me. There's a little bit of a story behind this, and you will hear more about this when I actually do this project, because I am going to be making something out of this, and this will be coming up. I have got a few ideas already of something that I want to do, so I'm hoping I don't trash it up, because I have one piece of wood to do that with. Easy wood tools. I got some hollowing tools. I got a hollowing tool set when I was down there this year, and these, I've actually been watching a lot of the other YouTubers using these over the last while with the negative rake on it, especially for the resin project, and especially this one. This was the one that I wanted. So you are going to see me, I think I'm going to be filming this in my next days off, which will be within a week. I've got a little plan of a project that I'm wanting to make, and I'm going to be testing these out. I have not used them before, so it could be interesting, but I am very, very excited to start learning with them. And also, I'd like to thank Easy Wood Tools. They gave me the Maker Central limited edition detailer with the new CI7 piece on it, which is very, 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 very pointed, the detail bit. So thank you very, very much to them. That will be taking pride of place in the workshop with all my Easy Wood tools. So I absolutely love their stuff. As you all know, I use it all the time. So I was very happy to get that. That was very, very kind of them. I know that they are limited. Apart from that, buying stuff, I didn't buy a lot this year. In fact, I didn't really spend anything. You know, just buying bits of tooling and sandpapers and stuff like that. I didn't really buy any big tools, lathes or bandsaws or anything like that. I have, you will notice that I do have a different bandsaw from what I had. I don't want to advertise the company on that though, because I haven't had that great experience with the customer support. So, but the bandsaws are quite fine. But I did buy these this year. Oh God, what have I done with the glasses? Oh, there. These are, I've never used these before. Divine Pigments. I've got the colour set of 6, so it's yellow, orange, black, white. I think I'm not quite sure what the other colour is in there, but I've got a set of 6 of those. Now these are for really opaque casting, so I do have a couple of things in mind for using those with, but they're going to be very, very good for that. So I'm going to be testing, messing around a little bit. Brian was using them on the House of Resin stand, and I did see him using them, but I didn't get much chance to check him out. So I'm going to be sort of watching a few videos, seeing what people say about them, and then start using those. So I think that's about it. Got lots and lots of stickers, met loads of people. Fred, great to meet you. Liam, brilliant to meet you. Obviously James, brilliant to meet you. And there was quite a few females stopped me, and I forget all their names, but thank you very much for coming up and seeing me. It really is heartwarming when people actually quite enjoy what you're doing. So yeah, just a great big thank you. Sorry this update has gone on so long, but you know me, I talk, and no doubt, you know, there'll be a fair few thumbs down. But that's it. I wanted to come on and talk about Maker Central. As I've done no videos, I just wanted to tell you I had an amazing time. Although you haven't seen videos, I am coming back with lots of videos. So you shall certainly be seeing me soon. Anyway, that's me for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great, safe day yourselves.